On June 22, 2025, on his social media, Diogo J left a short, simple, but profoundly powerful message, yes forever. A seemingly sweet promise, a vow to the wife he loved, Root. The photo accompanying it captured a moment of them holding each other tightly, their eyes filled with love and hope just after their wedding, the happiest moment anyone could ever dream of. But from this moment, fate began a horrifying twist no one could have expected. Just 10 days later, an unimaginable tragedy struck Rute Diogo's life partner, and soulmate passed away forever in a devastating car accident. What once seemed a sweet vow now echoes as the final farewell of a love cruelly cut short, a tearful goodbye that the world will never forget. In that moment, yes forever became more than just words. It became a symbol of an undying love between two people who lived every moment fully together, no matter how cruel fate was. Join us on this moving, profound journey to understand more about this heartbreaking yet beautiful story. Don't forget to leave a comment with 1 if you feel connected to Diogo Jota, or 0 if you have a different opinion. Share your thoughts with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss what happens next, where we will reveal all the secrets behind this story. The story of Diogo J, a man who had just stepped through the doorway of marriage with his longtime partner, touched the hearts of many in a deeply emotional and profound way. The wedding ceremony was held in a warm, intimate atmosphere in the city of Porto, the place where Diogo was born and raised, filled with childhood memories and dreams. Surrounded by family, close friends, and loved ones, everyone was there to witness the moment of pure happiness shining on his face. His radiant smile and eyes sparkling with joy and trust made that day a truly unforgettable milestone in Diogo's life, where genuine love and hopeful dreams for a bright future blended seamlessly in every sacred moment. According to those closest to him that day, marked the peak of Diogo J's life. He was living in emotional balance and contentment. His football career was on a solid and promising path, and the personal plans he quietly nurtured hinted at a future filled with joy and purpose. Yet as if fate had written a cruel twist, that future was never meant to unfold. A heartbreaking end was waiting, one that turned his story into something far more haunting and unforgettable, a reminder of life's fragility and a source of sorrow that continues to echo in the hearts of loved ones and fans alike. On July 3rd, a day that seemed ordinary but would become a tragic turning point in Diogo's life, disaster struck without warning. While driving with his brother Andre on a quiet road in northern Spain, something went terribly wrong. Diogo's Lamborghini lost control with a tire blowout suspected as the cause. What followed was a horrific accident. The car burst into flames almost immediately. Tragically, neither Diogo nor Andre survived the fire. At just 28 years old, Diogo was far too young to leave this world. His passing left behind an immense void, a flood of sorrow and unanswered heartbreak for his family, friends, and countless fans who admired him. The video documenting this tragedy is more than just a report of a young talent lost too soon. It tells a deeply moving story of a man full of ambition, someone who carried within him grand dreams and an eternal love he firmly believed in. Through every frame, viewers can feel Diogo's sincerity, determination, and passion for life. His story stands as a powerful reminder that even in a world where life can be fragile and unpredictable, love and dreams remain enduring forces, resilient, meaningful, and able to shine through even the darkest moments. Diogo didn't have the chance to say goodbye before he left this world, yet the traces he left behind in life remain vivid and deeply meaningful. In the final photos captured of him, we see tender, loving moments shared with his children, glimpses of a devoted father and a man who lived each moment with intention and heart. His gestures, his gaze, the way he held those he loved all radiated sincerity and emotional depth. Diogo was not just a footballer, but a man anchored in family, in love, and presence. One final video call with his friends preserved perhaps his most haunting words: "I'm living the best moment of my life. Nothing can go wrong." Today, those words echo not just as a reflection of happiness, but as a poignant message that now carries an entirely different weight. That message has taken on a bittersweet beauty. It's no longer simply a declaration of joy, but a reminder of the fragile and precious nature of every moment we're given. Diogo's words, once casual and full of optimism, have become a timeless reflection on how fleeting yet valuable life truly is. They reveal his deep belief in the future, in love, and in the life he was building, even though fate intervened far too soon. For those who knew him, and even for those who only came to know him through his passing, these remnants of his spirit live on as both memory and inspiration, proof that love, faith, and presence can outlast even death. Today, as we look back on the life of Diogo, we're not simply recounting the tragedy of his passing. We are honoring the man he was: a dreamer, a believer in hope, and someone who held on to love with the unwavering conviction that it would last forever. Diogo was more than just a talented footballer. Above all, he was a man who lived fully, deeply connected to his family and friends, giving his whole heart to those he loved. His story is a powerful testament to a life that, though short, was profoundly meaningful, a journey built on sincerity, connection, and quiet strength. We will continue to tell the story of Diogo J., a devoted father, a loyal friend, and a loving husband whose heart overflowed with care. Through his memory, he becomes a source of inspiration for anyone searching for meaning in life, for anyone trying to find strength in the face of hardship. And if this story has touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this is just the beginning. The beginning of a journey to share stories that matter, stories of life, love, and hope that remind us all of what truly endures. The death of Diogo J. touched people not only because he was so young, talented, and full of potential, but also because he had built a life filled with true happiness and genuine beauty. Every moment he lived was filled with joy, love, and bright dreams for the future. That sudden departure broke the hearts of family, friends, and fans even more deeply. Everyone felt an immense loss, not just of a football star, but of a person who inspired and brought light to life itself. Then the words Diogo wrote just days before leaving this world took on an even deeper haunting meaning, June 22nd. Truly forever. Only 5 words, but they have become a powerful message that everyone now holds close to their hearts. That phrase stands as a symbol of faith and hope, but also a painful reminder that the forever Diogo dreamed of never included such an early ending. It was a forever in love and life he longed for, yet fate was cruel enough to take him away just when everything was at its peak. He wrote those words shortly after marrying his longtime partner, Ruth, along with a simple yet deeply meaningful photo, the two of them embracing in their private garden, eyes closed, gentle smiles that seemed inseparable. For Diogo, forever was how he summed up all the most precious things in life: a love lasting 10 years, 3 beloved children, a happy family, and a wholehearted, sincere commitment without any need for showiness. Diogo wasn't a man of many words, but whenever he spoke, it was always from the depths of his heart. It was this simplicity and depth that made his love and life even more complete and meaningful, turning those moments into immortal memories for everyone who witnessed them. After his passing, those words were remembered not just as simple lines of text, but spread powerfully across banners and billboards in the stands of Anfield Stadium, where Liverpool fans always held Diogo in deep affection. They voluntarily sang songs honoring him with the phrase, "Yes, forever," resounding like a vow, an unforgettable tribute. What's special is that the phrase originally meant only for his partner, Rute, as a deep love promise, has now transcended the personal and become a symbol for all who loved and admired Diogo. Yes, forever has become a powerful expression that unites people sharing the pain of loss while simultaneously honoring the life and love he left behind. Before the tragedy occurred, many of Diogo's close friends shared that he seemed very thoughtful and full of hope for the future ahead. His optimistic spirit and inner calm left a deep impression on those around him. One of them, a former teammate from Wolverhampton, revealed a special video call that took place on June 29th, just a few days before the accident. During that call, Diogo spoke in a calm and confident voice. "I don't care if I never play another match again. I have reached the peak as if I don't need anything else." At the time, his words might have been seen as a simple confession, not particularly remarkable amid the everyday flow of life. But now, after his sudden passing, that has touched the hearts of so many, those words have taken on a profound and moving meaning. They are not only a statement of contentment with the life he lived, but also a gentle yet powerful message about cherishing every moment and the value of fulfillment within the soul. Before his passing, Diogo had written a handwritten letter to Rute, intending to give it to her on her birthday in August. One day, Rute found the letter on his desk. In it, he wrote, "I would choose you again 1,000 times. A promise and eternal love." After the tragedy, Rute broke her silence only once. She posted a photo on Instagram of their hands clasped together with the caption, "Forever I still say yes." The condolences on social media were filled with sorrow, but also admiration, because in a world full of filters and facades, they shared a true, sincere love without scandals or flashy headlines. For Liverpool fans, the loss of Diogo was more than just sad news. It became a moment that marked the heart of the entire community. They held a solemn prayer vigil right outside Anfield Stadium, the place where he had once shone brightly on the pitch. In that solemn atmosphere, candles were lit and banners raised, including one with a meaningful phrase, "You didn't leave, you just stayed in the best place." Those words served as a gentle comfort, helping everyone feel Diogo's invisible presence, even though he was no longer with them. That is the miracle and also the tragedy of last words. These words cannot change reality, nor can they undo what has already happened, yet they remain forever living on in the minds and hearts of thousands. Those words are not merely memories. They have become a spiritual legacy, an eternal flame that never fades in the hearts of all who loved and admired Diogo. They remind everyone of the meaning of life, love, and connections that transcend time and space. On July 3, 2025, precisely at 4:12 p.m., an emergency call was made to the number 112 reporting a tragic accident on Highway N611 near the town of Aguilar de Campo in the province of Palencia, Spain. According to initial reports, a matte black Lamborghini Urus suddenly lost control and veered off the road, crashing violently into a hillside. Immediately after the impact, the vehicle burst into intense flames, creating a horrific scene that shocked and saddened bystanders. The incident quickly drew the attention of local rescue teams and police officers who promptly arrived at the scene to manage the situation and attempt to aid the victims. Unfortunately, in this tragic accident, both men in the car lost their lives. One of them was Diogo Jota, the talented young footballer who had recently been enjoying happy times with his family and friends. The other was his younger brother, André Silva. The two brothers were on a journey from Portugal to the city of Santander, where they planned to take a ferry to continue their trip to the United Kingdom. The accident not only took the lives of two individuals, but also left a deep sorrow that shook the football community and their loved ones everywhere. They had chosen to travel by road for this journey because Diogo had recently undergone a major lung surgery, and on medical advice he needed to avoid flying for a certain period to ensure a safe and effective recovery. Therefore, instead of flying, the two brothers decided to travel by car, taking what was considered the safest and most convenient land route. However, ironically, the very road deemed safest became the site of an unforeseen tragedy. No one could have anticipated that a cautious journey meant to protect health would end in such a heartbreaking conclusion, leaving behind profound grief and regret for those who loved them. After conducting an investigation at the scene, the police confirmed that the direct cause of the accident was the sudden blowout of the Lamborghini's front right tire while overtaking at high speed. This unexpected failure caused the vehicle to lose complete balance, veer off the lane, and tumble down the embankment beside the highway. Upon impact with the ground, the car's fuel tank exploded violently, igniting flames that engulfed the entire vehicle within just a few minutes. The condition of the victims' bodies was so severe that rescue workers could only identify them through the vehicle's license plate and charred personal documents, making the identification process extremely difficult and heartbreaking. The accident scene was truly horrific, with firefighters battling for nearly an hour before they could control the fierce blaze. The fire rapidly consumed the car, leaving behind only burnt wreckage and a distressing sight that left witnesses in shock. In this tragedy, the death of Diogo's brother Andre was not only the loss of a loved one, but also the heartbreaking separation of an inseparable pair. Andre was not only Diogo's closest confidant, but also his personal scheduler and part-time fund manager, ensuring that everything in Diogo's life and career ran smoothly. The two brothers lived close to each other, spoke daily, and according to family members, were like two indispensable halves of one whole. A fortunate witness at the scene described the moments before the accident with haunting detail. He recounted seeing the car make a sudden sharp turn just before it spun out of control. That image evoked a deep sense of unease and a warning of the impending disaster, as if fate had already sealed an unavoidable tragedy. The incident not only left profound grief for the family and loved ones, but also shook the community, witnessing the loss of two closely bonded men in a single heartbreaking moment. It was not a reckless act by the driver, but truly a technical reaction in an emergency situation. According to witnesses, they had been driving the Lamborghini calmly and steadily, but suddenly the car changed direction abruptly, as if there had been an explosion inside the tire or the engine. The exact cause is still under thorough investigation by mechanical experts. However, this sign could explain the tire blowout and the catastrophic accident. This tragic event was a huge shock not only to the family, but also to the community that adored Diogo. On the very night of the accident, news of Diogo's loss quickly spread worldwide. Major media outlets in Portugal and the UK interrupted their regular programming to deliver breaking news about this tragic event. On social media, the phrase Diogo J instantly became a global trending topic within less than 15 minutes after the announcement. Millions of fans, as well as people who had never known him, were stunned and heartbroken by the painful reality that such a young talent with a promising future had passed away so suddenly and unexpectedly. Unable to accept the truth, many silently thought, "This must be a mistake. There has to be some mix-up." They couldn't believe that this man, the newlywed, the devoted father who had promised to spend more time with his family, the player who always said family was everything, had left so abruptly. But the truth cannot be changed, and that was Diogo, the person everyone once knew and loved. And once again, the words and forever echoed everywhere like an unforgettable, haunting chorus. In that moment, forever no longer carried its romantic, sweet meaning. Instead, it became a voice filled with unease, as if a message from the universe was warning us about something inevitable. It was as if fate had quietly written the final chapter of the story no one expected. The most painful part of such a sudden death was not only the endless loss, but also the unfinished things, the plans left undone, the dreams yet to be fulfilled, and the experiences that the person would never get to live. Diogo Jota was not simply a footballer thinking only about the next seasons or goals on the pitch. He was striving to build something far greater and more meaningful, a dedication not driven by ego or personal fame, but born entirely out of love and responsibility toward the community. One of his most passionate projects was expanding the DJ Academy, a place dedicated to scouting training and developing young football talents from Portugal as well as African countries. He didn't stop at the idea. He actively purchased land, designed modern facilities, and gathered a team of professional, experienced technical staff to ensure the academy would operate effectively and sustainably. Let's continue Diogo Jota's legacy together, not just as an outstanding player, but as an inspiration and a true agent of change. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to help spread Jota's values throughout the community. Additionally, Diogo had a significant plan in mind, launching a full scholarship program for underprivileged children aiming to provide opportunities for access to education and football for less fortunate youth. He deeply wished to witness these children, including Ahia, one of the young talents he cared for, especially grow and develop comprehensively both in skills and character. This project was not only an investment in the future of football, but also the heartfelt dedication of a compassionate person who wanted to help change the lives of the next generation. Diogo also had personal plans. Together with his wife Ruth, they were looking for a bigger house with a garden, a place where they could raise their children away from the noise and bustle. They had considered moving to the northern part of Porto, near the beach, to enjoy a quieter life. They had planned a vacation in Madeira, in July, Ruth's favorite place, to celebrate their youngest son's first birthday. All the plans and dreams Diogo once nurtured now remain only in memories and unfinished dreams that never came to life. He had planned to return to training with Liverpool in August, eagerly preparing for a new chapter in his career. Beyond his role as a player, Diogo had discussed with Coach Klopp the possibility of taking on a mentoring role, helping and guiding newly signed young players, passing on valuable experience and a professional spirit to the next generation. Although he never held the official captaincy, Diogo was always regarded by teammates and the coaching staff as a true leader, someone who inspired and united everyone in the locker room. His sudden departure left not only a huge void in the team, but also caused deep sorrow among all who loved him, as they looked back on what could have been a bright and promising future he truly deserved. To his beloved wife, Ruth, Diogo once shared his wish for a fourth child, a quiet dream he kept close to his heart, but never officially confirmed to anyone. He once told a journalist, "If it happens, it will come with love," expressing the fullness and meaning he wanted to give to his family. Those hopes and plans now remain only on paper, in messages never sent, in the cherished memories of loved ones, and in dreams left unfinished, never to become reality. All of these pieces come together to tell the story of a life just beginning, filled with sincere love and great ambitions, but cut tragically short. Those messages now stand as a spiritual legacy forever preserved in the hearts of those who love Diogo, a devoted husband, father, friend, and footballer with a heart full of love and a passionate desire to live life to the fullest. It is precisely at this point that Diogo's story becomes deeper than ever before, carrying a meaning far beyond the mere departure of a person. He did not only leave an empty space in the hearts of his loved ones, but also left behind a future that now exists only in memories and stories, and in the hearts of those who once cared for and cherished him. That future symbolizes the dreams left unfulfilled, the unfinished plans waiting to be completed, and serves as a testament to a life lived fully with passion and love for his family, career, and the causes he believed in. Diogo's passing is not only a personal loss, but also a poignant reminder of the value of time and love things he treasured throughout his life. That's why his short but powerful phrase, "Yes, forever," now echoes more strongly than ever, not only as a promise of enduring love, but also as a sacred commitment to life, to family, and to the dreams he once cherished. It is not just words, but a symbol of a great responsibility that we, the living, must embrace and preserve. This commitment reminds us that although Diogo has departed, his spirit, love, and the values he left behind will live on forever, becoming a source of inspiration for us to keep moving forward, to honor his memory, and to build a future worthy of the dreams he aspired to. When Diogo J's death was confirmed, the football world seemed to hold its breath in shock and boundless sorrow. The sudden loss of a young talent, a man with a passionate heart and unfinished dreams, left the global football community momentarily stunned. The Portuguese government immediately declared 3 days of national mourning to honor and appreciate his tremendous contributions to the country's sports. Moreover, in England, Liverpool, the club to which Diogo devoted himself wholeheartedly, decided to temporarily close its training center as a mark of respect and to share the grief alongside his family and fans. News of Diogo's death quickly spread and rapidly became the focus of media outlets and social networks worldwide. Articles, condolences, memorial images, and expressions of sorrow flooded online platforms, overshadowing all other headlines at that moment. This loss deeply saddened not only football fans, but also those who appreciate the spirit of sportsmanship, serving as a stark reminder of the fragility and preciousness of life and of dreams left unfulfilled. People throughout the global football community spoke of Diogo J not just as a shining star on the pitch, but as an irreplaceable loss that left a profound void in the hearts of those who knew and loved him beyond any achievements or fame. Amidst the grief, the first to break the silence and share heartfelt emotions was coach Jurgen Klopp. He penned a brief yet deeply moving letter that conveyed his indescribable pain. "I cannot express this pain. I have lost a player, but also a beloved son. Diogo was one of those who shone brightly without making a sound." Klopp's words not only express deep sorrow for a promising football talent taken too soon, but also clearly demonstrate the special bond and profound affection between him and Diogo. To Klopp, Diogo was not just a player on the team, but a close family member, a silent companion who carried within him great strength and resilience that not everyone could easily see. Through these heartfelt expressions, fans can keenly feel the connection that went beyond professional ties, reflecting the respect, admiration, and genuine love Klopp held for Diogo. Mohamed Salah posted a photo of himself with Diogo in the locker room, a simple but meaningful moment, accompanied only by a black heart emoji. This understated image, heavy with deep sadness and infinite grief, quickly spread across social media, drawing millions of fans worldwide to share in the pain and loss experienced by Salah and his teammates. That moment stood as proof of the bond that extended beyond the pitch, reflecting genuine friendship and unforgettable memories among the players. Virgil van Dijk, a close friend and longtime teammate of Diogo, shared a deeply emotional post on social media that left many people choked with emotion. He wrote, "You always look down at your boots before stepping onto the pitch. But today, all of us are looking up to the sky, searching for an explanation for this sudden departure." These brief but meaningful words echoed the profound sorrow and shock shared by the entire team and the community of fans. It was not just a personal loss, but a huge void that could never be filled in the hearts of everyone who had been connected to, witnessed, and loved Diogo. Meanwhile, at a deeply emotional press conference, Bernardo Silva, Diogo's close teammate on the Portuguese national team, tearfully shared his memories and feelings about his devoted friend and teammate. Each word rekindled the image of a person always full of passion and dedication, burning with love for football and commitment to the team. The atmosphere became heavy and filled with emotion, making everyone present profoundly moved by the permanent loss of a friend and teammate who had stood by them through many challenges and hardships. These sincere words helped the audience truly grasp the value and deep impact Diogo had on those around him. Bruno Fernandes made a heartfelt request that neither the Portugal national team nor Wimbledon club will ever wear Diogo's jersey number again, as a way to honor and preserve his memory forever. This marked an unprecedented event in football history. For the first time in 148 years, a tournament decided to postpone a match to pay tribute to a late player. In that solemn moment, the crowd stood up and silently applauded in remembrance of Diogo, with only the gentle wind blowing and quiet tears falling, making the atmosphere profoundly emotional and sacred. Diogo's funeral was held solemnly on July 5th in Gondomar, his beloved hometown where he grew up and nurtured his childhood memories. The ceremony attracted a large gathering of family, friends, teammates, and fans, all coming together to share in the grief of loss and to honor Diogo's life contributions and the spirit he left behind. Prayers, fresh bouquets, and stifled sobs blended into an emotional moment, deeply engraving the image of a man who lived every moment to the fullest and left an indelible mark on everyone's hearts. Diogo J's funeral took place in an intimate atmosphere, yet filled with profound meaning and overflowing emotions. Thousands were present, from family, close friends, teammates, to fans from various clubs, regardless of jersey colors or boundaries. Some fans even flew in from England just to be there for the final farewell, to say goodbye to someone they had always followed and admired. This large turnout not only testified to Diogo's wide-reaching influence, but also stood as a collective tribute to his brief yet meaningful life. The ceremony was held simply, just as Diogo always lived: humble, sincere, and without extravagance. There were no dazzling lights or lavish rituals, only quiet respect and genuine love. As the coffin passed by, wreaths of red and white flowers, colors symbolizing love and purity, a Coldplay song played, causing the entire space to fall silent. The music blended with the sorrow, creating a sacred and unforgettable moment. A final farewell, profound and complete, for a man who left a mark, not only in football, but in the hearts of millions. Ruth, Diogo's wife of 10 years, never let go of their wedding photo, the last moment she could fully hold on to a forever that once existed. At the funeral, their 3 young children wore simple white t-shirts bearing an emotional message: Dad, and forever, yes, forever. This was not only a message from a broken family, but also a way for them to continue living with the legacy of love that Diogo left behind. In the solemn silence of the cemetery, each step away felt heavy, carrying a loss that could never be filled. And then, in a moment when it seemed all emotions had reached their peak, a shout rang out from the crowd, the voice of a young Benfica fan, the first club Diogo ever played for. With a trembling yet confident voice, he called out loudly, "Thank you, Diogo! You're still playing, right? Thank you, Diogo! You're still playing in heaven!" It was an innocent yet heartfelt farewell, a question that needed no answer, because we all know in the hearts of those who loved him, Diogo J is still on the field, no longer on the green grass, but in the sky where only light and eternity exist. Indeed, That is the shared feeling we all carry in our hearts. The world has lost an outstanding player, but gained an irreplaceable symbol. Diogo J is remembered not only for his goals, his precise passes, or his effort on the pitch, but also for the way he lived each day quietly, kindly, and passionately. He did not seek the spotlight, nor did he crave showiness. His humility, love for family, and integrity in every action made him a rare role model in a world full of stage lights. Everyone who met him, worked with him, or simply followed his journey could feel one undeniable truth: Diogo lived according to what he believed in, and therefore he will forever be remembered not just as a player, but as an ideal human being. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, the senior and former teammate who once stood alongside Diogo in the national team, sent a message from Saudi Arabia, where he is currently playing. "Rest in peace, champion. You have left your mark on all of us." This simple farewell, coming from one of the greatest legends in world football, not only showed deep respect, but also affirmed that Diogo's influence went far beyond any limits. He left his mark not only on the pitch, but also in the hearts of those who walked alongside him, and even those who never met him, but felt the strength of the spirit of a man worthy of the world's admiration. That night at Liverpool's Anfield Stadium, the place became a quiet yet deeply emotional memorial for Diogo J. Thousands of candles were lit, arranged into the shape of a giant heart on the pitch, sparkling in the darkness like thousands of souls collectively remembering him. At the center of the heart was a simple yet powerful banner: "Gone too soon, but forever." There was no cheering, no trumpets or drums, only light tears and solemn silence enveloped the place that was once his second home. It was not just a farewell ceremony, but a collective promise that Diogo would never be forgotten. Diogo J didn't know he would die. He had no chance to say goodbye, no final letter to write. Yet strangely, he left behind something that haunts and echoes in all our minds. It was a short phrase, a promise, and more than that, a jazz melody that never ends, a wordless tune full of emotion, lingering pain, and unforgettable beauty. That melody now becomes an open question for all of us. How can we live as fully as he did? How can we love as deeply as he loved? And how can we, when it's time to leave behind something as eternal as, yes, forever? And if you were to die tomorrow, what words would define you? This is not just a rhetorical question, but a gentle yet profound wake-up call. What will you leave behind? A memory, an action, a word? Who will you hold today if you knew tomorrow was not guaranteed? Diogo J's death makes us not only grieve, but also freeze in realization of something we've always known but deliberately avoid. Life is fragile to the point that a single moment can turn everything upside down. He did not go because of carelessness or mistake, but because uncertainty is the very nature of life, and that is what makes this loss strike deep into all our hearts. We all make plans for the upcoming holiday, for a birthday party, for unfinished projects, for an apology we keep postponing, or for an "I love you" we think there will always be time to say. But sometimes time runs out. Death gives no warning, and the future doesn't always arrive as we expect. Diogo's story reminds us that living isn't about waiting for the right moment to love, forgive, or be brave. It's about doing it right now while we still can. Because the only thing we truly have is this moment. That's why today, instead of just sharing a tragedy, we want to leave you with a thought, something small but powerful enough to change how you live from this moment on. Don't wait. Don't wait until it's too late to say what needs to be said, to do what you've been longing for, to love someone deeply. Call the friend you miss. Hold your loved one tight. Live intentionally as if tomorrow is uncertain, because in truth, it never has been certain. Life is a series of moments we often take for granted until one day they're gone. We don't often think of life as a final recording left behind, but one day all of us will leave a last word, a last photo, a last memory. And you today can decide how precious those final things will be. Diogo J left something behind, not through planning, but through the way he lived each day, sincerely, passionately, and full of love. He didn't know he was leaving a legacy, but now millions repeat his words, yes, forever, not just with grief, but with deep gratitude, because he truly lived and left an indelible mark. You can do the same, starting right now. Thank you for joining us on this journey to feel and learn from an inspiring story about love, humility, and relentless dedication, both on the pitch and in life. If tomorrow were your last day, what words would you want the world to remember you by? It could be a message, a promise, or an inspiring statement you wish to leave behind. Don't forget to leave a comment with the number 1 if you relate to Diogo Jota, or 0 if you have a different opinion. Share your thoughts with us. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Click on the next video that appears on your screen to discover more amazing content. See you in the next videos.